that translates into a lot of late game damage, and honestly, every single one of those picks is enough to carry a team and carry a game. I think to be had, especially with Johnny locking in that Bakasura at the very end there. It's just, that's scary in and of itself. If Zeros wasn't on Morrigan, if Arkle wasn't on Jingwei, I'd already be scared for you just because of that one. So I expect a lot out of this Bakasura once he hits that stride. Early game isn't necessarily going to be where I think he's going to tear through them, though.
And Worst Turtle has to get involved just like this. Trickstank using the last bit of his mana, able to escape, but the Riptide is just that much better. Spudio gets first blood for Snake Pit, and that is the strength of Yamoja. And the strength of this Robin Gord, he's the Earl of making him less safe over there and sending him back to base more often.
Yeah, high gank ability. Being able to go over there knowing he's not safe, or do something like this, knowing he can't airstrike in and steal.
Gold Fury starting to be low. Merlin damage is good, confirmed, but Belt Slap stealing. Zeros comes in and crushes Worst Turtle. Angry is in trouble as well as Johnny completes the second kill. Trickstank gets tasered. I can't believe it only took 8.5 minutes for them to get Belt Slapped. It's so cool. Try and fight here. He'll use the Yamoja sustain the best he can, but the Fury down well below half already. Worst Turtle and Tarum trying to force their way in, but Belt Slap want the fight. Johnny took a leap back over towards the left side. He's clearing the wave, so he won't be here in this battle, but the rest of Belt Slap are winning it anyway. The Snake Pit are entirely on the run, and Belt Slap have forgotten about the Fury. They want the fight instead. Dropping down the Regurgitate. Arkle over the top gets the kill with the airstrike. Continued aggression from Julio underneath the tier 2 tower, but now he retreats, uses the Ox form for the knockups, and Arkle able to make it out of there. Belt Slap don't end up getting the Fury. They get one pick onto the support, but now their two Belt Slap start the Oni Fury yet again. But remember, Snake Pit have the neutral vision. They already captured those oracles. Worst Turtle walks in, and it's a trap. They lose there. Overhead kick comes too late, and Johnny gobbles him up. But the Fury still stands, and Snake Pit are on their way.
Well, the problem is going to be whether or not they can make a big turn without your jungler, especially since Dazer just takes so much to begin with.
Tarum starts all in committing onto Zeros, who ended up revealed after the stealth. The snipes from Spudio are almost enough, but Zeros makes it out of there by turning into the Amma. But look at Julio fighting 3 all alone. Johnny gets the kill in the Tarum. Julio forces out the ultimate from Dazer, and inside the Somersault Cloud continues. His aggression is pulled back in by Angry. No one is nearby, and look where Arkle is. Are they starting up the Fire Giant? They are.
And, I mean, look at this. Oxform's going to come out. Oh, he gets caught by the stun. Julio might lose his life for this, but it's still 3 members of Snake Pit chasing him to try and do this. And you lose so much in that process, you're going to lose the Fire Giant.
They are going to lose it. I think this bait has worked perfectly. Belt Slap pretending to take the Fury and truly taking the fire.
Oh, and Zeros and Trickstank are right here for the Fury as well. You think you're safe for just a second as Snake Pit, and they're still in the position. And now Zeros has that little bit of a buff.
What? They got it! Belt Slap steal the Oni Fury, well timed with the stun from Trickstank, and then Zeros there for the damage. Johnny gets the kill onto Angry over in solo underneath the tier 1 as Belt Slap now 7,000 gold in control. There's only been 9 kills.
I can't tell you when that all happened. Johnny just all of a sudden was part of the game. And this is the problem. I love the shells. I like the upgrades. I think it's good to have those block stacks. You can see how useful they are just to stop Johnny from getting aggressive. But I don't know if it's ever going to be enough unless all of them are grouped up.
Zeros does get caught out by the River's Rebuke. Dazer gets that kill. Arkle finds the shots, though, and Worst Turtle ends up falling. Only had 2 shots and hits both of them. Tarum with the thorns, with the shell, is still not enough to dissuade Arkle from pumping out the damage. It ends up being a 1-for-1 Zeros for Worst Turtle. Belt Slap now going to head over towards the tier 2 and left. Remember, they've got the Fire Giant. These structures are going to come down.
And I think losing Zeros hurts Belt Slap, but you still have Johnny and you still have Arkle, who I think between the 2 of them are going to be the ones most deadly to either a fight like this where Johnny just eats through Spudio or these towers. Either way, you're happy as Belt Slap right now.
Belt Slap take the tier 2 tower in mid. It's a 10,000 gold lead now in their favor, and they want the middle Phoenix. Julio moves in first. Angry gets stunned, finally uses the beads, but Trickstank keeps up the pressure. In fact, the ultimate used from Julio all the way to the Titan Room. Good juke from Angry, who does stay alive, but yet again, Julio has done the right thing. He's traded his life for
times at this level, and you can feel it, that it's just electric in the air. What, 14,000 gold right now, a lot of control, and with a good separation. Johnny just eats through health bars like it's nothing.
They died instantly. Worst Turtle is right there to join him. That is 2 kills for BRZA to start the fight off. Mid Phoenix respawns and falls in an instant. Angry in trouble too. Julio goes up into the ultimate. There's a shell to try and keep him alive. He will not chase out the kill, but they've gotten mid and right Phoenix already, Goran. They're heading towards left.
Finch, I see your 4 upgraded shells, and I raise you a separation of team that neither of them are going to be able to stop Johnny at. He's already healed back up. The Phoenix is going to go down. BRZA just separated Snake Pit perfectly and are picking him apart.
And Dardaz is locked down at the front of the fight. Arco gets that kill. Arco gets a double as Spudio falls as well. And there will be no stopping the BRZA boys. They completely roll over Snake Pit.
And it worked great against Oleron. There were a lot of times where he was able to get a final judgment right at the beginning of the Sanctified Field, so the ult felt like it was useless. But also just the damage it has through. You know, Zeros just has good aim, and I think up against a Hebo, a Cupid, a Heimdall, a Set, like, they're pretty squishy on the side of Snake Pit, and I expect that this Thoth is going to take advantage of that.
Should be able to. Zeros loves this god. He got to play 2 gods in a row that he's a big fan of. These picks are going to go because you'd think it'd be Hobwa Jungle for Worst Turtle, and that is exactly the case. Terum will be taking this set over to the short lane. And this makes some sense. You know, you love to be able to get set ahead and get a sort of bruisery type build online where he can do a lot of damage, just his base stats, but is it going to be enough to stop Julio and his signature working together? This Hobwa wants some items online, but once they're there, he has a ton of kill potential.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're looking at trying to lock people down, they're going to be able to do so wonderfully with a Hebo damage.
Dazer in a little bit of trouble. Trixtank leaps forward with those underhand tactics, but they don't have quite enough damage to lock down Dazer. Good usages of those Riptides allow for Dazer to reposition and make his way out of what should have been a lot of trouble. A shell even being used, and they're right. An all-in commit to try and get this kill into Arkle, even using the stun to lock him down further. There's the bubbles for the slow, but Arkle still stands, gets the turnaround for First Blood. Even though Arkle ends up falling, First Blood goes to BRZA.
And that just beautiful thread the needle shot from Spudio. There's one step from Trixtank that maybe helps that end up, well, not happening. You still have Arkle alive and Spudio in an awkward position. So I love the fact that he's on belt slap. I mean, Heimdall hits hard, yeah, but I don't know if there's going to be a lot in terms of control that can really help them out, especially if Johnny looks for kills.
Spudio still has Fields of Love, but they're going to go in the backline for Dazer, and Fields of Love will not be enough to save him there. An easy gank for Johnny onto the left side to find his first kill of the game, and that's what you meant, Gore. I feel like you said something about kill potential for Belt Slap, and we just saw it on display.
It's this weird, like, mix as well, where actually Julio, I was worried he was going to fall down there, or maybe make some sick turnaround play on the Terror.
Yeah, I can't believe a tier player didn't up down there, Gore. That's crazy.
He's got Worst Turtle still lurking around. This is where things get really dangerous, I think, for Julio. Early on, you don't have the same damage and life potential, and I think that's something they have to grab onto here for Snake Pit. A good kill for Worst Turtle, but the problem I have lockdown becomes, I think, a little more apparent.
And you said it felt like Snake Pit were getting the scraps, and I think the reason it feels that way is because they're only getting what Belt Slap are allowing them to get. Dazer is able to get away with Riptide and River's Rebuke, but Trixtank is there to follow up, gets the stun, and cleans up with the Draconic Corruption, so Belt Slap now have 3 on the board. All of them have been on to Dazer. Corey, you said it, they are looking to punish this Yamoja.
I'm still a little surprised by it, but it really does come down to the fact that if there was a
game and it is working. Now, what has been working for Snake Pit is that Terum has just had control over here in the solo lane so far, but that's about to change. He was pushed under a tower. Johnny is here as well, able to find the slow and the root, and Julio gets some much-needed revenge. So as if I spoke it into the universe, as soon as something went well for Snake Pit, Belt Slap.
Bad game, but not really a great game either. He's just kind of neutral there on this Heimdall.
Julio being ganked again, but this time Dazer is a part of it instead of Worst Turtle, and that is all they need. Looks like as long as they bring someone over who can supply the water, then Terrorim can find a kill in that solo any of the remaining damage, but might have just been that the window wasn't there either. Zeros took the only shot he could have gotten, and they didn't have any kill potential. Dazer had the lockdown to Zeros, but Trixtank and the boys show up. The turnaround potential's there, and Dazer falls for the 4th time this game. They're not even letting him show his head without getting punched down.
It's, man, I'm trying to think if I was this Yamoja, what am I trying to do now, man? I've got 4 deaths to my name. Out of the 5 that have been picked up for Belt Slap, they do not want Dazer to be a part of this And honestly, it's just going to continue getting easier for him. At this point, level 7, if I'm Thoth and I'm getting this kill, that means nothing to me in terms of a bounty. But again, in terms of control, you could go for something that he can turn around a gank on a dime like that, especially with Dazer dropping his ult, is impressive to me. Almost getting a kill. If he had his ult at the time, it would have been a kill, because you cannot convince me Julio would not have jumped right on in to try and kill that Yemoja.
And Spudio might be in trouble too. Has already used the Fields of Love, and Johnny is on his way. There's the root. Arco gets the kill, and that Gormizer is the difference. Snake Pit have been all in trying to punish Julio this game, but look where he is. Already slows you as is. So things are going to be difficult if you're zeros and you don't have that evade and punish. Even if you use it, he can use the clone to catch up. I wonder if Terram's going to be kind of hard switching to making Zeros his target as Dazer again gets caught out, is able to use the Riptide, but Zeros hits the final judgment. That is it for Dazer as he takes his 5th death of the game. But now Arkle over in the left lane gets flattened by the crushing wave. The Aegis is too late, and worse, Turtle gets a much needed response kill for Snake Pit.
Man, if that was just a second earlier, even half a second earlier for Arkle, I think he might actually turn around a kill. They have a lot of burst damage on Snake Pit that I don't think is going to be good enough to lock down an Oni Fury. I just don't know that they have what they need to take a team fight here. In fact, I think it's almost deadly if you misstep, because Julio's rotating in. He's going to have good CC.
Yet another fight where Dazer's low early, avoids the final judgment, makes it to the back of the fight, and somehow is still alive. The Fields of Love have a couple members locked down inside, but Johnny finally completes the kill onto the enemy support. Terram looking for Zeros, but Arkle was there raining in the damage all along, and Zeros gets his killing spree completed. It's a 2 for 0 in favor of Belt Slap, and Snake Pit licking their wounds or running away. Belt Slap can take the Oni Fury as it's well earned.
Not as dominant as we got to see last game, but still dominant in the exact way you would expect from Belt Slap.
Aegis and Ultimate on cooldown now for Angry.
Unfortunately, I think this is going to spell a little bit worse case scenario for Angry than it is for anybody else, but it's Dazer that's first eliminated, just like every other fight, Finch.
I promise he was there for a moment. Terram will be there to join him. A double kill now for Arkle in the middle lane as they do finally find that Tier 1 tower. About a 10,000 gold lead, not quite, more like 9k in favor of Belt Slap here at this point. But they're going to start heading over towards FG. Johnny and Julio are going to be looking for picks in the meantime. Worst Turtle getting punished, has the crushing wave available, but Angry in trouble as well. Johnny has the 100-0 potential, so Angry ends up falling. Snake Pit aren't even considering defending the Fire Giant. They're just trying to stay alive.
And it's, what, just Julio, right? Go in, let's just win the game, stop, slow down, do whatever it needs, rotate in, because, I mean, Fire Giant, full control, full damage, there's nothing to worry about here for Belt Slap.
Dazer finds a good ultimate on the edge of the tower line, and Arkle should get trapped inside the ultimate, but it's Spudio that gets the kill into Zeros first. But making his way to the backline is Johnny. Gets the kill onto the Cupid. Rooted at the front of the fight is Terram, but he lives through it all as Julio puts some basic attacks into the right side Phoenix. It finally drops down. Belt Slap have to trade their mid laner for Arkle with Deathbringer, Wind Demon, and the Fail Not. This is going to be a real difficult battle for Snake Pit as Trixtank's already making his way in, transforming into the Draconic Corruption. Immediately waiting for him is the Fields of Love, as Angry has a great Aegis to immune the final judgment coming out from Zeros. And now the Rivers Rebuke has locked in Belt Slap. They have to use a couple of ultimates to get back out, and Julio's still stuck underneath the Phoenix in between everyone, but he retreats back. Belt Slap gonna have to reset before they look for another siege.
They still have sustain in form of the Fire Giant buff, but not as much as you would have if you had something like that Yemoja, like that Cupid on their side. But Trixtank doesn't seem to care about this health bar. As long as they get the Phoenix, they're happy with it, but they're not done, Finch.
Big damage coming out into Johnny, though. He's in trouble. Crushing wave lands on a Trixtank, and Worst Turtle gets the kill into Johnny. Terram shuts down Arkle. Trixtank falls to Spudio, and Snake Pit rising from the ashes. Find a 3 for 0. Might even be able to find another one here. Zeros' evade and punish covers a large amount of distance, but Worst Turtle is on the cutoff path. So this
might be a good chance for Snake Pit to turn it around.
They are fully on the retreat. Belt Slap have all 5 members grouped. Julio blinks in, 2-man fearless, and Spudio already in trouble. Holds on to the beads, though. That's great recognition. Dazer has to use the ultimate to try and lock out a couple members, but Johnny punishes it for him, hits him with the Goomba Stomp, and that's 1 kill for Belt Slap. Now, Johnny forcing his way over to the left side Phoenix. They do not have a minion wave here, but they might not even need it. Minions are on the Titan. Snake Pit aren't here to defend, and that's the left side Phoenix down. Now, they keep right on pushing. Julio is the target. target elsewhere on the map, but they don't have the damage to burn through him quickly. He's got Worst Turtle in trouble to the right side of the fight. Final Judgment is able to hit Spudio, and that brings him down low as well. But how long can Snake Pit hold off?
Well, they're trying their best, Finch, but they're too low. They were too preoccupied trying to find the kills. The fire minions are pouring in, and Arkle has a double kill.
That opens up the door. Spudio is all that can defend. He has no ultimate, and Beltslap, as cleanly as you can ask for, are able to take the 2-0 over Snake Pit. And I feel like at this point, Gore, the question becomes, is there anyone in the EU SCC that